All right, so I'm here with Assimilate Python from Zero. I'm going to cover dictionaries. I'm going to get right into it, share my screen, and here we go. All right. So what I will do is open up my code space here and dive into dictionaries, which are pretty cool because they're, really a workhorse for Python. Probably one of the most commonly used ways to program in Python. So let's dive into it first by creating basically like an examples dictionaries. Dics. There we go. And to start off with, let's just make a dictionary, and we can even use our Copilot to help us, and we can say like create a dictionary full of fruits uh, and the places. There we go. So we have the way that a dictionary works is that you have the brackets here, and you have the key, basically a key and a value. So the key is the string, and the value in this case would be the number or the price, right? And so if I wanted to then go ahead and print them out, let's just say like print the price of an apple, right? I would just say print, and I could just invoke it by putting the square brackets here to print it out. So let's go ahead and try that out. So let's go ahead and say print, uh, or just run the code actually. So Python examples, just like that, and we see there's the price of an apple. Now, if I wanted to print the price of the lowest fruit, let's do that. Let's go print the price of the lowest priced fruit. So what I could do is I could first minimize the values, which, because values is a list, it works with min and max, which is really a nice little feature. And now if I go ahead and I print that out, we can see in fact that the lowest priced fruit is actually a banana. And now what I could do though is I could say find the lowest price fruits. So find the price of the lowest price fruit, and print the price and the value. There you go. So what we do is first we say find the lowest price fruit, and now we need to say for fruit and prices of fruits, if the price is the lowest price, print it out. So here we can actually see the fact that a key value pair is how you would iterate through a Python dictionary, right? So you would say for fruit, for price, right? And we say fruit.items. We can extract each loop, and now we can do a match, and we can say if price is equal to the lowest price, and then we say for fruit. Well, let's go ahead and do that. The lowest price is this for a banana, and we could even make it even nicer, and we could say more things, or add some kind of formatting. We could even say like use f strings to print the name of the fruit and the price. In this case, what I like about f strings is that it makes it more intuitive, because the curly brackets are just a variable, and you just write more of like a human readable sentence out. And so I think this is a very good example of how you would actually use a dictionary in the real world. Now, what if we wanted to add additional fruits, right? So why don't we add 3 more fruits to the dictionary along with their prices. So how would we do this? We could just go through and do the key value pair addition, which is pretty simple. Fruits right here, grape, pineapple, right? And now if we want to find out how many items are in the dictionary, what would we do? We would just say print the number of items in the number of fruits in the dictionary. Just say len fruits, which is pretty nice. Now let's make it a little bit nicer, and we'll say print the number of fruits in the dictionary in a sentence. There we go. And we say there are this many fruits in the dictionary, and we can go ahead and but we could even make it even cleaner. Fruits, and they are fruits and fruits. No, we could even clean it up a little bit and say, you know, the prints. Say the fruits here. So notice again, we use our brackets here, fruits with the price, and we can just do fruit, right? Because this would be how you would extract the value out of it. And so if we run this, we can see there are 6 fruits, and they are, and I guess we could even do like something like this. We can make it like kind of like a it's more of like a list. So there are 6 fruits, and they are apple with a price of 1, banana with a price of 50 cents, and now we're able to actually use it. So really not a lot of stuff to do with the dictionary. It's absolutely a pretty cool utility. It's a key value structure. A couple things to also remind yourself about with a dictionary is that it can do O to the 1 lookup. And so what this means is we can actually build a dictionary that does key lookup. And so we can say create a dictionary full of unique 5 checksums, 5 check hashes, and their corresponding file names. Let's go ahead and do this. There we go. That looks good. Right, this is a pretty good example, actually, of what that would look like. Now, we could also do a format to kind of clean it up. Let's actually add a makefile here. So let's touch makefile. I'm going to just grab one from another environment to let us clean things up real quick. I always think it's a good idea in Python to always have a makefile laying around to just help you clean up your code, because we'll go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a Python virtual environment. So I'll say virtual environment. This is so I can run tools, essentially. And then I'm going to edit my bash RC and put this inside of here so that we have a Python virtual environment. So source env, source tilde venv, activate. There we go. Perfect. Source bash RC. Okay. So now that I've got that, the only other thing I need to do is create a quick little requirements file. And I just put in some common things like pylint and pytests, cov, pytest. That first, I don't know if I finish or not. Python black, click. Python. Those are some of the things I mostly use a lot, and I just say make install. So we'll just install these tools, and then what this means is that I can do format And what it will be nice about it is it will format this code a little bit and clean it up a little bit. So we'll say make format. There you go. So see like how it's kind of nice now. So what I can do is say, look, this is one of the advantages of using a dictionary is let's suppose that this contained, 1,000,000 items. Because it's O to the one, meaning that it's a fixed lookup time, I can always say, like, essentially, does this key exist in the dictionary? So I want to see if it exists or not. So how do we do this? Let's try Python here, and let's just say from examples dicts. Go ahead and import the hashes. Do that, and what we can do is I can say that we can find like key one is equal to this. Let's go ahead and grab this. And we can say key two is equal to, and we'll just put like some weird key, and we can say, let's see if key two in hashes prints yes. So that you can see how this could be 1,000,000 items, but you say, hey, let me see, is it in there? No, it's not. But we can find the other key. In fact, it is. There you go. So it's a great way to get massively good performance as well with by using that O to the one lookup. So that's one of the reasons why people generally try to use Python dictionaries so often is because they have that great performance advantage. So maybe a couple other things that we can think about that we would want to do with dictionaries. What else would we care about? Now, I guess I could actually put that last stuff that I did in there. That's kind of useful, right? So let's add a little note, and we can just do this, right? We can say like use for the one lookup. Like here we go, and so I can just go to the last one, two here, and just show how you can use these examples, and then I can just say the if, right? So this one is here, and then if key two, there you go, right? So you can see how this is big O notation, right? O to the one, O, big O notation, big O notation, right? All right, so I got those all done. What else can we do with dictionaries that's kind of cool is now we could create a dictionary that's got like weird things to it. And if I have to look at the docs real quick, and we can say Python dictionary default dict. So I don't use this that often, but this is one here, containers collections. And so you can actually put some weird stuff inside of a dictionary. So returns a dictionary that has like, I don't know, examples of other things that go inside of there. Easy to group a sequence of key pairs into a dictionary. Default dict sorted with. Let's try this out. So let's use this. So let's say use default dicts. We can just say from collections import default dicts, and then what we would want to do is let's try this example here, and notice now that what will happen is that basically it'll always say for key value in the for here, right? Because it's going to extract this out. basically append automatically the value and the key, and then print the items. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and do Python examples here. Now, that is not what we wanted, though, because I think we wanted to sort these items. I see. So if you wanted to sort this thing, I see, because there's a blue there, there's a blue there, there's a red there, and there's two yellows. So basically, yeah, that's kind of cool concept. So let's do that. Let's print sorted items there. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. So I guess the idea is that because you're making a new list out of this thing, that you're able to actually create essentially like a more sophisticated dictionary, and then you can do more sophisticated things with it. Now, we could do an example of the ordered dicts is kind of an interesting one as well. I thought that the ordered dicts is default now with a certain version of Python. And so let's take a look. This is new. So returns an instance of a dict with with basically can automatically arrange for this. So yeah, when is this available? Ordered dicts change in Python 3.9. Well, let's try this out. So let's build a dictionary here that populates dictionary with a list of keys and values that has random integers as the values, each as the values. Import random. There we go. Those are the keys. I like this. And then randomly pick some values. There we go. So basically, let's make a new dictionary that's kind of shuffled, essentially. So I like this. So if we print this out, what do we get? You get basically like a weirdly shuffled dictionary. Look, and it's out of order. So what if I wanted to order this? I believe this now. What version of Python am I using? Using Python 3.10. I thought that they changed this. If I say d.values, what happens? Let's print out what happens. How does it print the values? Doesn't print them in order. So let's see if we can do the default dict now, or the ordered dicts. Return an instance of a dict that rearranges the ordered examples and recipes. So what we may want to do is see ordered dicts. Okay, well, let's try. So let's build values. Okay, so let's do this. We'll say use dictionary, use ordered dicts to put the dictionary in order. Collections, import ordered dicts. So we're going to take the D, right, which is all randomized. Now the key is lambda tt0. Build a function that will return a dictionary with keys and values. No, build a. How about this? Let's see if it'll convert that to a dictionary. Um, convert this lambda to a function. Let's see. F. There we go. Let's see. Like I want to. I don't want that. I want this. So I want to say key is equal to func. Wait, would that work? Func t, right? Would that work? Let's just say print t. And does that work? T is not defined. Oh, T0. Anyway, I tried to get a little bit too fancy, but look, it did. Did it do that? 999. That's not exactly what I was looking for. But anyway, I would have to play around with this a little bit. I have not really played around with ordered dicts before. Examples. It's straightforward to create an ordered dict variant that remembers the orders were last inserted. I don't think we want any of that. But anyway, there's a bunch of fancy things. I'll take that out because it's not really adding value to us. But I guess in a nutshell, there are some really cool things that you can do with dictionaries, including default dicts. Now there is a counter though, which would be kind of fun to play with. The counter objects, yeah. So a counter is a tool provided to do rapid counters. So it kind of gets rid of like this for loop, and it's not exactly something you would do with a dictionary. But since I'm here, I wanted to play around with it. I think all you need is a counter objects have a dictionary interface that return a zero. So let's just try it out. Let's just say from collections import counter, and I'm going to try it first with IPython. Or no, actually, let's do it here. So let's say use a counter to count the number of times the letters appear in a string. Let's try that. There's a string, F counter. Wow, really? That's it? That's pretty cool. So let's try that out. There we go. So we can see this. Okay, so what if we say, let's use a counter to count the number of items that are in a list or a dictionary, right? So we can say, use a counter to count the number of fruits in a list. So first we have to make a list with in a dictionary. There we go. So there we go. We've got our fruits here. And then you counter fruits. We print how many fruits do we got. Counter fruits dot keys. Not exactly what I was trying. Oh, I see. No, it did. It did do it because look, it said if I print this out, a statement here that says basically there are this many of the following fruits, right? And so it can basically do a count here. There's one apple. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of goofy, but because I mean, it could make sense, but it's basically a partial. There's 3 apples, but let's do this. Let's do 1, um that doesn't totally make sense because I'm gonna need to change this. So let's use a counter to count the number of fruits in a list. Makes a little bit more sense. So we'll say my fruits is equal to this, and we'll make a bunch of fruits in a list. Apple, we'll say apple, we'll say pear, we'll say banana, or strawberry, and then we'll say apple again. And now I just say counter my fruits, prints, um, say there the following fruits are on the list. And we'll just do that. There we go. It's counted. But that is kind of cool. That is kind of a cool concept. There's this thing called a counter. You just literally shove stuff into it. Again, not a dictionary, but you can see how there's some very sophisticated things that you can do with data structures in Python. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to stop for today. I'm going to check this in and go from there. There we go. Commit this. Adding dictionaries. Right, so probably next week, probably cover what else would be a good thing to cover if I go back to the Python tutorial here. What would be a good thing to cover next week? Tutorial. So I've covered dictionaries. I could get into maybe list comprehensions. Could be good. I think that might be good. Sure. Let's do list comprehensions next week. All right.